on KSN, the productions for this broadcast of varsity hockey between the Baldwinsville Bees and the Whitesboro Warriors. Baldwinsville coming into this game at 3-0-2, Whitesboro at 4-3. Good afternoon, everyone. Here, Killian Heffron joined alongside by Brian Heffron. And this game, Brian, promises to be a very competitive affair. Two of the losses to this Whitesboro team were to RFA, and they were very close. RFA, in my opinion, is the team to be in the section this year, Brian.
Yeah, they sure are, and I'm going to tell you something. This Warrior team is strong. They're physical. This is going to be a really tough match for the Bees. One of the things the Bees are going to have to rely on is their speed here, because they've got physicality on this Warrior team. They've got some tall, strong kids, so this looks to be a really great affair here on this Saturday afternoon for hockey, high school hockey here in Section 3.
As usual, we sat down with Coach Mark Lloyd before the game. This is what he had to say. He said that Whitesboro is a very strong team. Two of their losses are to RFA, who he believes is the team to be in Section 3 Division 1 this year. He also says that Whitesboro is big and physical. We will need to use our speed, as I do feel that we have a fast team, and we need to take advantage of that speed that we have.
Yeah, kudos to Coach Lloyd. One of the things he talked about in our pregame before our pregame interviews, he talked about the importance of scheduling tough teams, even when they are out of division in this situation, right? You have a Division 1 team playing a Division 2 team, but the benefit in the long term of playing some of these strong teams here is that by the time that you hit the postseason, that you are already in good shape, right? So this is going to be a good match for both of them. I expect that this Whitesboro-Baldwinsville series will continue season to season, but I'm glad we have them home, because this is going to be a tough match. Really looking to see how this thing shakes out.
Well, with that here, about 30 seconds remaining until the anthem. So one more brief thing I want to go over. Brian, in Baldwinsville's last game, they took on Ballston Spa, and that game, they just didn't seem to have that spark that they normally do. It was competitive up until the very end. Beast had to overcome some adversity with a 2-goal comeback. That game ended in a 5-5 tie. How do they bounce back from that?
Well, I think that if you look at the goals that were given up at that Ballston Spa game, we have a couple of defensive breakdowns there, so we're going to have to make sure that we are playing physical. We cannot let them get around our defenders and get some open shots on that net. I think that's going to be an important part of it. The other thing that I'll just mention quick is a coach talked about the importance of being able to match it one-on-one in each play. Face-offs are important, special teams are important, and that's going to be a determination of this game.
All right, with that here, we will see you all in a moment, and as they will do the national anthem. And we will be back for the starting lineups here. Don't go anywhere on KSN Productions. We will be back in a few moments. With that, we are just about set to go here for the first period of action between these two, Baldwinsville in their home white, Whitesboro in their road blue.
So looking at just the players here to Whitesboro, just to highlight a few players to look out for: Benedetto, Ascento, the two forwards there, they're the brothers. Witchley, the defender there, leading the way with 9 points in terms of defense on his team. Dom Nucci with 6 points, another forward. And obviously Belf, the goaltender. Just taking a look at some of those games that he's played against, is not letting many pucks into the net. So I think the Bees are going to have a little difficult time. They're going to have to shoot quite often to be able to get a Belf. I think early on is going to be the key here.
Well, with that just about set to go, Baldwinsville has not lost a game yet this season. They've tied 2, those being the FM and Ballston Spa, and they've won 3, those being the CNY Fusion, West Genesee, and St. Lawrence. Just about ready here for the opening draw. And here we go. Baldwinsville looking to be back to full strength after some of their players recovered from illness. However, they do still have a few out. Burning an edge behind the back of the net there was Whitesboro. Comes up to the point. Shot comes in deflected. That goes wide. Pertel at the point sends it down low. Trying to get to that one was Dorito. He couldn't get connection on that. McGrain sends this one up to Hinman. Hinman from the side puts that one into the legs of Nolan and Potasiewicz. Gets sent back down low. Picked up now by Whitesboro. Chipped up and out of the zone, where Baldwinsville will send this one right back down. That was number 19, Rocco Weaver, with the dump in. Played along on the side, trying to get to that one now are the Bees. Centering pass there from Toland, intended for McGrain, and was able to be received, but McGrain on the turnaround shot went wide. Long shot there from the point, did not go. And now it'll be played along the side by Whitesboro. Sent around the sidewall. Trying to lock that one up there was A.J. McFeeters, but he was unable to get to that. This will get sprung forward for Crowley. Crowley breaks into the offensive zone. Has McFeeters with him. Crowley goes to the side, shoots off the crossbar and out. Now it comes back over. Crowley trying to make a plan. That gets chipped forward, and it's a 3-on-1 for Whitesboro. They move on in. Becomes a 2-on-1 on a good back check there by Baldwinsville, particularly by Crowley, to take away the passing lane as it was forced a little out of place, and now Whitesboro will have to reset.
Yeah, good work by Crowley there to be able to cut off the opportunity, but not something you want to see, a 3-on-1 early on in this game here.
Shot there, save made by Bice. 2 shots here combined in this game early on. Baldwinsville with 1, Whitesboro with 1. Played up, and this will get sent out of the zone where it will be played by Davington. Davington sends this one out deep, and here's Pertel. Fires it up. That's taken by McGrain. McGrain makes his way up, was brought down. It'll be dumped right back in by Whitesboro. Here's Pertel behind his own net.
Well, we talked about the physicality there. One thing you don't want to see is McGrain not get the opportunity to use that speed right there. And you saw Whitesboro players slow him down as he was trying to pick up that movement along the puck.
That's definitely something that Whitesboro probably looked at during their film sessions, is who are the fast players on this Baldwinsville team and how can we limit them? So far, early on in this game, that one's picked off. Here's Hinman on this one for the Bees. Play on the side, sent that one on. That save made by Balf. Hinman picks up behind the net, tries. That one got blocked on the way in, and Hinman goes down. This gets chipped up the wall out of the zone. Baldwinsville will make a change. They tag up, and now here's the forecheck. Dorito, the first one in. He got the pressure. It's fired out of the zone. Comes back to Dorito. Dorito hits this one over to Weaver. Here's Rocco Weaver, makes the pass up. This is caught by McCollum. And this one will be held by Balf here. 13:52 left to go. So 3 minutes and 8 seconds of straight action to start this one.
Yeah, Balf tested really early. I mean, the Bees are getting some shots in on Balf pretty early to sort of test him out.
Face-off taken and 1. This goes up to the point. Crowley unable to hold it in, and now here comes the Whitesboro the other way. Moving on in, it's a breakaway. Save made by Bice. The rebound came out and was blocked.
Well, that's what we sort of talked about at the beginning of the game, those defensive sort of, breakdowns that could result in some early chances. But here we go on the other end.
Here's McCollum, whips one, that goes high. And now the other way comes Whitesboro. Benedetto hands this one off for Nofri. Nofri shot there, stopped, rebound goes wide. Played along the side, trying to get a possession of that one. Shift out to the middle. Nofri shot did not get through. His second attempt also does not get through. That shot there from Colin Aceto gets tipped over the net out of play.
Yeah, good shot by Colin there. Aceto, sort of point-blank situation. That's something that a goalie wants to see, is when you have one blue player in front of you with no white to move him out of the way. So good job by Bites there to sort of keep himself together and defend that shot.
Aceto, and his brother Gavin, two of the top contributors on Whitesboro this year. We'll look at some of the top contributors later on in this broadcast. This gets taken up by Weaver, brings it forward into the neutral zone. Weaver now brings in the offensive zone from the side. Weaver looking, centering pass there, intended for Hidman, could not connect. McGrane plays this one down low. It's battled for, and now it comes the other direction. Here's Connor Hagan. It's given over. Kyle Parent. Parent sends it to the middle. Nothing going there. The Bees pick it up, and it'll go out the other direction. This is chipped up by Dorito. Here's Hidman. It brings it into the offensive zone, dodges a check, and then had it poked away. Comes up out of the zone, where it'll be played by Bennett Mattoon. Mattoon's pass received by Tolan, but it's picked off and goes the other way after Tolan had it stripped from his stick. Comes up to the point, and now here's McCollum in a foot race for it. McCollum still trying to get to this one, was almost able to take that one away from Colin Aceto. But Aceto was able to ultimately control it. Battled for on the side. Sent down low to Toland. Toland battling for this one. They continue to fight for it. It gets sent across the other side. Here's Pertel. Pertel gets checked. This gets fired down the ice, and it'll become an icing against Whitesboro.
So one of the things that Coach was talking about in the pregame was that in the last couple of games between the Boston Spot and was it Saranac, I think it was the other one that they played, they were missing players. They kind of had some players that were weak due to some illness, and as a result of that, a positive of all that is that players that most may not get as much ice time did get ice time, and that's a big important thing for a young player on this team. So with a little bit of experience may come some more depth on the bench.
That gets chipped. It goes around out of the zone where it will be played by the Bees. Crowley's pass comes up for Spino, who fights through a check. It's picked up from the side now. Centering pass there from Donovan Worth. Got blocked on the way in.
Yeah, good coverage by the Warriors there to stop that play from happening.
Knocking that one out of the air was Spino, but unable to corral it. Comes out of the zone. Crowley being pursued. Crowley turns, gets it by Aceto, and now Crowley into the offensive zone. Makes the pass over. Here's Rolfe. That's taken away by Callan Davington. Fired back in by Crowley. Rolfe in pursuit of that one. He'll land a check on Drew Witchley. Gets popped up to the point now. Long shot. Save made there by Belf. Chipped down. It'll be picked up by Whitesboro, and here they come out of the zone. Here's Aceto, makes a move. Aceto through one from the side. Centering pass, that one goes wide. Aceto picks it up, still with possession. Surveys his options. Good job by Baldwinsville covering the lanes. They couldn't cover that one though. Shot there, save made, rebound. Oh, it bounced out, but they were just unable to get that one to go. Up to the point, shot there, gets blocked, goes out of play.
Yeah, some early testing here by the Warriors. They're getting open players. If you saw that, there was 2 shots in that sequence where the player was wide open for the shot. I think Baldwinsville is just having a hard time sort of finding coverage, who's supposed to be on what position, where they're supposed to be at, because those openings should not be happening that close to the goalie.
Yeah, Baldwinsville, they were doing a good job there for a period covering the passing lanes. Aceto had nowhere to go, but eventually it just kind of fell out, and they were able to find the open man. Bice swallowed it up, and eventually it went out of play. Here comes Baldwinsville out the other direction. Dorito chips it back down. Pertel passes it on over. Here's Hinman. Hinman's pass up intended for McGrane is tipped. It'll go into the Whitesboro zone where Baldwinsville will give chase. Dorito trying to get onto this one. Gets chipped up and down the ice where it will end up on goal, so no icing. Baldwinsville will corral it from their own end. Fired up. Here's Dorito. Pass up to McGrain. McGrain trying to break through. On the side. Turning. McGrain still on this puck. It gets set up to the point, but now it's picked off by Whitesboro. Here they go out the other way. That one, good defense there.
Defensive play there.
Good job by Weaver. Now Weaver cuts along, scores!
Wow.
Rocco Weaver. And Baldwinsville has the first goal of this one.
Well, it all started with that defensive move, speed, agility, taking away the play, being able to take the turnover and make something out of it. Outstanding job by the Baldwinsville team on that one, using their speed. We talked about speed being a factor right there. That shows you what Coach was talking about. So being able to sort of really kind of take the puck from one end to the other, find an opening, and what a shot. What a beautiful, powerful shot.
And there's a penalty now against Baldwinsville. They called, I believe it might be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. And so Weaver's going to head to the box. So he scores a goal and is put in the box. All in one sequence. We'll see what the call is. I'd imagine it's going to be unsportsmanlike for something that happened during the celebration.
Yeah, I don't know if they didn't like how he sort of celebrated at the end of it, but
and you can see
like
that
be playing down a man here.
One of the Baldwinsville assistant coaches not pleased at all with Weaver. So it's 1-0 Baldwinsville, but Whitesboro immediately goes to the man advantage, our first of this game. Well, still waiting on the announcement of the penalty.
No, they just announced it.
Oh, they did? Yeah,
Yep.
I missed it.
So it was
unsportsmanlike, I'm guessing?
Unsportsmanlike,
Yep.
From the celebration.
Well, that would make sense. I have to say it's the first time I've seen that happen this year. Shot by McFeeters is turned aside.
So this is a great opportunity here for the Warriors.
And now this comes up into the offensive zone from the side. Good job holding this one. Aceto centering pass intended for his brother would not go. Excuse me, that was Jacob Hart that carried that puck. Pass intended for Colin Aceto. And now here comes Baldwinsville moving up the ice. Or excuse me, Whitesboro. We're to side. Good job there by Baldwinsville to step in and make that hit. That was Don Pertel in the check. Another hit on the wall there. Whitesboro trying to set up the power play. Send down. Whittle on the side, moving in. Good check there by Pertel. Shot there on that save made. Rebound comes out. That one goes high. Pertel was battling for that one in front of the net. There are two Beeville players there, two Beeville penalty killers trying to knock one Whitesboro player away from that. And now this is going to get chipped right to Dorito. Dorito into the offensive zone, has two Warriors on him, and Whitesboro takes it away. It'll be bounced around to the side.
Good effort by Dorito there. Kind of battle his way up.
So the wall is picked off. Here's Hinman. Looking for something. Hinman will just drive that one on that save made. And nobody pressuring, so they will not hold it. Whitesboro will reset. 10 seconds left in the penalty. Weaver ready to make his way out of the box. Gets chipped down low. Along the wall. Bennett Matum made a play on that one. Comes up to the point. Sent over. Now down low. Penalty has expired. Up to the point. Shot comes in. Blocked on the way in. And the rebound off the shot block was unable to be corralled by anybody.
Yeah, important kill by the Bees there.
Here's Toland. Steps up, a voice to check, but his stick is a casualty of that one. Good job by McFeeters to get his stick in there. Kind of tip that puck away. There's a pass up from Mattoon. McFeeters has Toland with him. McFeeters in the offensive zone trying to beat the mass of Whitesboro players that came in on him. Toland lands a hit there down low. There's a hit landed on the wall by Whitesboro in return on McFeeters. This gets passed up. Here's Crowley. Brings it in. Crowley with speed from the outside. Drives on that save made. Oh, that rebound was destined for Ryland McCollum. But they just couldn't get that one to go through. But now it's picked off. Pass to the middle. Save made there. And that'll be held. Excuse me, there was not a save. It was just kind of fanned on.
Yeah.
Regardless,
well, the Warriors
he's getting a couple shots.
Well, Warriors just having a hard time being able to clear that puck out, right? and they're not down a man here. They're playing sort of 5-on-5 hockey, but just unable to get it past that blue line, and Bees just one after another, taking the opportunity to get early shots in. So
face-off taken. This goes up at the point. Good hit there, landed on Pertel. Yeah, it's centering pass from McCollum. It looked like he just kind of fanned on it and just misread where it was going. Now this gets passed up, fired forward, and it'll be played by Whitesboro, stepping in for a hit there. They continue the battle for this one. It's stuck there on the wall. Somebody's got to bring it out. Now they will. This gets sent over. Fired back down and deep. On the top left of your screen, you'll see the results of some of the games yesterday and today's games that are scheduled, flashing across. Meanwhile, Whitesboro controls this one. Down low. Making a move around is Aceto. Aceto, really nobody playing him. Up to the point, shot there, deflects. Got blocked on the way in by Pertel. And now out comes Baldwinsville the other direction. Long chip up, that's received, but down goes McGrain trying to play that one. This gets passed up and played now by Baldwinsville trying to break it forward. Here's McGrain, makes a move, absorbs a hit, and now McGrain in pursuit of this one. It's down low, got to wire this one away. Comes up to the point, chip past Crowley, he'll go back to retrieve it. Crowley up to Hinman, gives it over, but it's offside.
Coming into this match, just taking a quick look here, we were talking about a couple of games ago, we were talking about the sort of strong start that Keegan Crowley had, and already in this game he's sort of making the difference, making some speed, taking some shots, finding some open players. So be interested to see how his game sort of turns out as we move on throughout this one, but good play by the Keegan Crowley, the defender here for the Bees.
Breen off the draw, hands over to Crowley. Crowley gets chipped forward, trying to get a play on that one, and here comes Toland all alone. That's good defense there by Whitesboro to catch him and not take a penalty. And this gets chipped by Breen and goes out of the zone. Yeah. Breen over to Crowley.
Good defense by the Warriors there on that play.
Trying to get down low there was Toland, couldn't land the check. This comes up and it makes its way up to the neutral zone. Passed over. Here's Crowley. Long pass up gets deflected, and it's played now by Davington. Davington's pass is taken. Trying to get on this one is the Bees. Comes up, and it's played now in the neutral zone by Breen. Breen fires this one in. Baldwinsville will go for a full South change. Whitesboro looking for the stretch pass, and it will not go, but it will be tipped by a Bee, so no icing. Weaver, the only goal scorer and the only penalty taker in this game so far, chips this one up. It's played forward. Here's Aceto. Breaks through a couple, has to, and they gotta wait to dump this one in. Now they will. Whitesboro tags up. Here's Weaver behind the net. Weaver brings it forward, makes a move. Weaver into the neutral zone. Now brings it forward. Weaver shoots one, save made by Balfi, holds. 3:31 left to play in this first period.
Yeah, good pace first period here. I mean, outside of the one penalty that was taken there after the goal, really moving the clock going. Not a lot of stoppage happening, not a lot of sort of offside situations.
Shot there from Hinman was turned aside. Right off the draw there, that opportunity was. Battled for on the side, trying to get to that one is McGrain. It's picked up, and now here comes Whitesboro the other direction. Moving forward, making a move over, or nearly brought down. And now the other way, here comes Baldwinsville, but that's turned over and sent right back in. Kyle Parent there, just an inch away from getting that one all alone, but it was brought down. Not fully, but enough to slow him down. Now down low, Hinman lands a big hit there on the wall. And now this comes up, McGrain steps in, makes a check, Toland. Hands over to Crowley. Crowley chips it up. That's going to be picked off by Whitesboro. I'll tip this one off the wall and down in. And now here they come. Good pursuit there from Whitesboro, but I couldn't get possession of that one. And now it comes out the other way. Long pass up, that's blocked. And it comes out the other direction. Now moving on in is Whitesboro. couple of checks there will prevent them from corralling it. Slapped up the wall, but the defender not on this point. And it'll get by him. It'll go all the way down the ice. Now in pursuit is McCollum. McCollum trying to get to this one. It's chipped up out of the zone. Fired back off of a B offside. Hit Toland on the way in, so the faceoff will come out of the zone. Both teams will make changes. McGrain on the draw, matched up with Adam Gutowski. McGrain wins it over to Weaver. Weaver sends it up for Dorito, who has to get rid of it fast to avoid a blindside hit. It's sent down low. Trying to hold that one is Hinman. Hinman picks up in a battle for it, and he'll land a check on the wall. McGrain comes through. Comes up. Battled for, or continuously on the half boards. Now will be picked up down low by Dorito. Dorito's centering pass is sticked aside, and now comes Whitesboro the other way.
Good whereabouts of knowing where his players were on that play. Finding players in front of the net. Key important piece.
Good stick handle there, but it's going to be whistled dead offside on the Bees. So Baldwinsville been caught offside several times today. 1:24 left to go. Shots 12-7 in favor of the Bees. Whitesboro looking to tie this one up before the intermission. Not really any consistent pressure. It's been a lot of just transition play on both sides.
Yeah, they're both moving speed today, right? Like this is a quick game that's happening right now.
At the point now, passed over, shot there gets blocked. Trying to get to that one, and it's picked up by Whitesboro. They make their way out of the zone. Aceto, the pass, offside, jumped the gun a little early there. Was Aiden Nofree. With 58.9 to go. Face off back to center ice. McFeeder is on the draw with Aceto. Face off won by Aceto on the tie-up, but it's picked off by Baldwinsville. Toland will send this one in deep. 50 seconds left. Trying to get to that is McCollum. Sent around down low. McGrain tried to get onto that one. It's sent over. Here's Nofree. Fires up the wall. Breen shot the flex. And it'll land back in play. Here's McGrain. 30 seconds left. McGrain sent that one to the middle. Well, it made connection with McCollum's stick, but he just couldn't get that one to go.
Yeah, McCollum was fighting hard to keep that position in front of the net. Almost paid off.
This gets fired around. And fanned on there by Crowley. Now it's a 2-on-1 here for Whitesboro. Shot there. Save made by Bice. He holds. Bice are challenged late in this period, but able to bring that one in. It's a bit of a breakdown there for Baldwinsville. Let them get that rush. Now 10 seconds left to go. McFeeders and Aceto on the draw. McFeeders wins this side, chipped up. Maybe one last opportunity here for Whitesboro. Playing off the side, centering pass got blocked. Aceto centers it, sticked away. That's the end of the first. As this one is 1-0 Baldwinsville. Shots on goal, Beeville 12, Whitesboro 8.
Yeah, very equal match here that happened in that first period. I mean, we don't have a possession clock, but I would say that my best guess is that this is somewhere close to 50% in terms of which team had possession of the puck. A good quality thing. Both teams playing physical, Killing. We talked about physicality being an important part of this, and speed. One of the things we noticed is that both teams are coming out physical. Both teams are coming out using speed. So we'll see how that translates into the second period.
Well, before we go to break here, we have a message from Ads on the Go. Brian, you can take that one away.
Yeah, so Ads on the Go, your local digital mobile advertising unit here in Central New York. A very unique way to advertise. Your ad on a truck going all over Central New York. All you got to do is give them a call at 315-816-0633. Plan starting at $349 per month. That's Ads on the Go, digital mobile service. And with that, we will be back here for second period action on KSN.
We welcome you back in on KSF Productions for a second period action between the Baldwinsville Bees and the Whitesboro Warriors. Bees lead 1-0 here after one. And we're going to take a look here at the Baldwinsville roster. Head coach Mark Lloyd and assistants Glenn McCaffrey, James Muscatello, Newell Field, and team manager Jack Gokel.
So as we were sort of talking about a little bit the last period, I think some of these players that in the first few games that didn't get much playing time has been receiving some playing time as a result of some illness that has been going around, I know, on this team. So that's important, right? I mean, that experience matters. Getting out on the ice and sort of being able to have some experience there playing at this level is important, I know, to those guys. So I think that's something that I think the coach is looking for, is to rely on that deep bench, to try to get a deeper bench as they move on to the end of this season and into sort of the playoff situations.
Well, look at the upcoming home broadcasts here for Beeville. It's just their home schedule, but they've only played one away game this year. That was against West Jenny between the Fusion and St. Lawrence game. Their last two games resulted in a tie. This one, they're currently up 1-0. And then their next home game is not until December 13th, where they play IHC.
Yeah, they had a schedule that was definitely favorable, a lot of home games up front, and then they go and hit the road. I mean, they're not even at the halfway point here of the season yet. So they're going to hit the road and do quite a bit of a few games that are going to be on the road, which is going to be a good test for this team. But keep in mind, the Baldwinsville did play, and the team that they did play on the road was a big win over West Jenny, right? So this team does have some experience of playing and winning on the road. Something to look through as we move forward.
And then the big game that everybody in the section should be circling on January 22nd, RFA comes for a visit here at the Three Rivers Athletic Complex. And I mean, that game just has classic written all over it.
Well,
two of the front runners in the section, RFA, they've been dominant this year. Beeville, we haven't really seen a test for them in terms of teams of the caliber of RFA, other than maybe the FM game.
Yeah, well, and one thing that RFA brings, right, is a combination of, it's sort of a two-punch. One is speed, second one is physicality. That's a 1-2 punch that many teams just cannot be able to handle. So it's going to be a great game. Looking forward to this season and the home stretch that they have coming up here for the remainder of the Bees schedule.
Well, one more thing here. A look at the stats between these two and some of the big skater contributors. Baldwinsville, Keegan Crowdy, 3 goals, 8 assists. Alessio McGrain, 5 goals, 3 assists. Daniel Hinman, 5 goals, 2 assists. And Rocco Weaver, 3 goals, 6 assists here as we're ready to start this second period of action. At center ice, here we go. Baldwinsville up 1-0, looking to extend this lead. Whitesboro looking to tie it. 17 minutes down, 34 to go. We're on their way. This gets set up and immediately checked there was Dom Dorito. Down low behind the net, Whitesboro will look to send this one up. Played up at the point, held in now by Weaver. The sole goal scorer today, shot flies high. Up to the point, Pertel's got to get rid of that one fast. It's picked up by Aceto down low. McGrain in a battle for it. It comes out to Aceto, and he'll chip it up, but not out of the zone. It's held in. Dorito makes the pass over. Hinman backhands it wide.
Well, important turnover there by Whitesboro. Baldwinsville able to capitalize on it in terms of getting a shot, but they got to keep that clean hockey there going on, because that's going to be something that I know both teams are going to be looking for, is when a mistake is made, they can cash in.
McGrain there held possession of that one behind the net. Eventually just had it kind of poked away. It gets chipped up off the stick, sent over, now into the offensive zone. It's Aceto. That's
good defensive play
taken
there.
away. And this comes out over. Opportunity for Whitesboro. They couldn't get possession of it. Played around on the side. And now this gets chipped up to the point where it's poked out of the zone by McCollum. McCollum in a foot race for it. He's got the speed. McCollum with Tolan. He moves in. Shooting one. Save made there by Belf.
Yeah, Belf, great save.
But, I mean, what about the fight there from Rylan McCollum to get through the defender and get the possession of that one?
Well, it's not just about speed, right? I mean, speed is important, but it's not just about speed. It's about that ability to be physical, be able to move your way through a defender who's on top of you, trying to poke that puck away, and that's what we saw there by McCollum.
Whitesboro holds this in their own zone, where they will play it down low. Passed over, and this will be played. Good check there, but able to stay on this one is Hinman. Good physicality by Hinman. It comes out. Crowley fires wide. Oh, man, what a close call that was. He had a lot of open space, but the shot just went away from where he wanted it to go. Now the other way comes Whitesboro. Crowley holds possession of it. We'll flip it over to Breen. Breen sends it up the ice. And now a pass intended for McGrain would not go. Baldwinsville might have gone away with a bit of a hook there. Shot on that save made by Bice. The Whitesboro player definitely got pulled back a bit by the stick. Officials deemed it not worthy of a call since he retained possession. But
well, it was one of those situations, right? A turnover, right? We talked about the importance of not having these turnovers in front of the net. And the Bees right there gave an opportunity for the Warriors to cash in. But, you know, it's just something they got to keep on watching. We talked about in this last game that they played against Baldwinsvile. It was sort of some turnovers that led to goals early on.
And we've talked, and I mean, when we talk to people related to this Baldwinsville team about that Baldwin-Spa game, they said that's what did them in and why it was so competitive. This one goes into the Baldwinsville bench. But they said that that's why the game ended up so competitive against a team that it really shouldn't have been. Just they were breaking down defensively, turnovers, let them back in the game.
And that's what Coach Lloyd was talking about, right? He was saying in one sense, you know what I mean, I was really disappointed we couldn't get the wins. On the other sense, considering where we were in that game, to walk away with the tie, I'll take it.
Good demonstration of dealing with adversity there from the Bees. This gets sent up in pursuit of this is McCollum. McCollum still in pursuit of this one, and he is able to pick it up on the wall. Grabbed onto a fistful of the jersey of the Whitesboro defender there to get to that one. This comes up the side. McFeeder is a swing and a miss, and now here comes Whitesboro into the offensive end, a spinorama. And that pass to the middle, nothing going there. Physicality definitely picking up here in this early second period. This will get dumped in by Pertel. Getting over to that one is him, and he'll land a check. This comes up the wall. McGrain in pursuit of this one, which is controlled by Marco Benedetto. Benedetto, one of the big contributors for Whitesboro this season. Benedetto with speed cuts through, and it'll be played onto the wall.
Yeah, good patience by the Bees there. He had speed moving down. They just sort of waited for that sort of line to get before they could use the wall to their advantage to make that be a turnover by the Warriors.
This comes up, good read by Crowley to get in the way of that one. And this will be picked up, and now an opportunity for Whitesboro. Cutting through, still with the puck, save made by Bice on Benedetto there, who broke in looking for another big goal. Would have been his 9th on the year. That second shot there also stopped by Bice. And it comes up the other direction. Chipped in on goal, save made by Battlefield Hold. Shots on goal 14-12 in favor of the Bees, but Whitesboro definitely catching up in that shot total.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting the opportunities there that we talked about. I think one of the things that we have not seen a lot of is the sort of that rebound sort of being able to cash in. That puck is bouncing off on both goalies' ends to see if somebody can be right there to be able to tap it in on a rebound.
Played around down low at the point. Shot comes in, save made, gets tipped out. And now this is chipped forward. Here comes Whitesboro into the offensive zone, barely able to stay on side there. That was Benedetto who with possession of this one, but here come the Bees the other way. Chipped around, trying to get to that is Easton Anderson. Anderson in pursuit, lands a hit. It comes around the side. One of the first times we've seen this line on the ice today for Baldwinsville. This gets brought forward and sent down into the zone. Good check there by Weaver. Up the wall, Anderson will just fire this one out, but it's intercepted. Gets sent back in. Whitesboro tagged up to avoid the delayed offside. Now this gets fired down up to the point. Sent over in pursuit of that one is Benedetto. Centering pass there is picked off. And here comes Weaver, the sole goal scorer in this one. Into the offensive zone from the side. Weaver shot there. Gloved and held by Balv.
Yeah, good tracking by Balv on that shot. We're getting some powerful shots. Both teams are getting some speed and be able to take an open shot like that. But both goaltenders have been able to play very well so far.
McFeeder's on the draw against Adam Gutowski. It's won by McFeeder's. Sent back in down low. McFeeder's in pursuit of this one. This will get played around. Here comes Whitesboro trying to get it forward. They get it up into the neutral zone, now dumped in. In pursuit of this one is Gutowski. Oh, it took a weird bounce in the middle, but they were unable to get the shot off. Centering pass, unable to be corralled. Now a shot from the point got blocked on the way in. Good job by McFeeters to get in the lane.
That was a very odd bounce by that puck, but something that you see happen from time to time.
Some rinks more than others, although this rink doesn't usually have bounces like that.
Oh, good outlet pass there. Beautiful movement by Warriors. It's unfortunately off sides.
Well, now let's look at the contributors here for Whitesboro. Colin Aceto, 5 goals, 4 assists. Gavin Aceto, 1 goal, 9 assists. Marco Benedetto, 8 goals, 5 assists. Nearly had a 9th goal. And so they brought down into the offensive zone for the Bees. Comes in, shot goes over the net. As Drew Witchley, the other contributor, with 1 goal and 8 assists. Played down low on the side, and here comes Whitesboro trying to bring us out. Avoids a check by Dorito and brings it forward, trying to get into the offensive zone to tell it back. And here comes Hinman. Shot got blocked on the way in. Battled for on the wall, good hit there. And now it's picked up by Whitesboro. Moving it forward, it's chipped, and it'll be fired right into Breen. This comes up, trying to get to this one. Here's McGreen. McGreen tried to toe drag it, was poked away. Now bringing this one forward into the offensive zone was Kyle Parent. And it comes up, battle for on the side. McGreen got into that one, chipped over. And here is Nucci. Nucci's pass picked off. Opportunity here. Toland, there's that shot. One on net, but a save made by Balf through the traffic.
Well, it was a great shot, but they had traffic also in front of Balf, so great job by that goaltender to kind of get through and make it without being able, because I don't think he saw that puck coming in.
Yeah, pass there from Dom Nucci got picked off at the point. That was a near disaster for Whitesboro. But Balf able to bail out his team and get the save through the screen. And now down the other way, Whitesboro looking to respond. Shot there from Colin Aceto goes wide. Next shot comes in, save made by Bice. Played around. Shots on goal 18-13 in favor of the Bees. Bringing this forward now is Hinman. Hinman chips it up, got kicked, nearly a disaster for Whitesboro. That'll be picked off, it goes out the other direction, and they move forward into the offensive end. And that one's gonna be misplayed, and here's McGreen through the neutral zone. McGreen cuts around. McGreen still of it, cuts to the middle, had it poked away. Hinman picks it up. That's gonna be poked away now. Getting down to that one, it almost was Dorito, gets sent down the ice for an icing against Whitesboro.
Well, you were talking about point leaders for this Whitesboro team. I've got Pullen looking at the stats for all teams in Section 3 hockey. Whitesboro's ranked 3rd right now with 70 total points, 26 goals, 44 assists, which suggests that they are usually a high-scoring team. Today, though, we're already in the second period, and we're just not seeing that. So good defense, something that we know Baldwinsville sort of goes into every game with the mentality of playing good defense. Right now, it seems to be working.
Yeah, limiting the shots on goal in particular. Only 13 so far shot on that there, save made by Balf. Still 1-0 here in this one. Baldwinsville looking to extend this lead with this offensive possession. Donovan Worth on the draw. Worth wins it. Plays it in the corner. Worth makes a move. Looking. Trying to get to this one. It's played around. Worth still on the puck. And this gets chipped along the side, and now it comes out the other end. One-on-one there. Aceto tried to break through, but couldn't get by. And now here comes Baldwinsville into the offensive zone. And aside, shooting one goes across the crease and wide. Now at the point, makes a good move there. Another good move. Opportunity, shooting, that got blocked. Up to the point, nope, it's out of into the bench.
I'll give you a guess on who do you think in Section 3 hockey is leading with the most amount of goals here.
I'm going to say
up
RFA.
To this point. So RFA is not leading. Actually,
really?
RFA has 29 goals, which is about 4th or 5th. It's actually Scan. Scan with a whopping 37 goals here in the first quarter of this season for 25-26.
Definitely to be expected. Oh, good move there. Knocked down the Baldwinsville player who was back checking. Wasn't expecting that one. Brought down there. Bench wants a call. Nothing going on that one. It comes up out of the zone. Whitesboro forces this one forward into the offensive zone. And now down behind the net is Rocco Weaver. Weaver at the point. This gets chipped by. Trying to get onto this one was McCollum, who slid and took out the Whitesboro player. Gets chipped out of play. And it'll stay in the Whitesboro zone. 7:02 left to go in the second period. Face-off taken is one. Shot on net immediately saved made by Balf, and that'll draw some attention of the crash from Green.
It was a great face-off win. Quick shot. That's kind of what you're looking for, right? Is that 1-2 sort of win-draw shot.
Face-off one at the point. Gets sent down low. McGrain behind the net. Makes a move. Couldn't get out to go. Knocks down the Whitesboro defender. Now at the point. Shot there. Tipped over the net from Bennett Mattoon. Now from the side off the post.
Off the post.
Rebound comes out. Still is in front. They couldn't get it on net.
So much traffic in front of the goaltender there. Great job by the Bees of being able to get some opportunities going.
Big hit there. Hinman taken down. Officials deem it to be a clean hit. That was just a good hard check by Whitesboro. Specifically, I'm trying to read his number, but the jersey tuck is making it a little difficult.
Well, sort of equal force there, right? They both sort of hit each other with the same amount of force. But excellent, excellent hit. Great job by both players to get back up and get rolling.
Yeah, you can see him and he braced for that one at the last second, almost like he didn't see it coming until right before. That's the physicality, though, that we knew that was going to happen coming into this one.
Yep.
As Whitesboro chips this one around behind the net. Still down 1-0, looking for their first goal. Only one goal in this game so far, which was scored by Rocco Weaver in the first period, and only one penalty, which was to Rocco Weaver in that same play.
Well, Killian, though, that's kind of what we were talking about. Though. We were talking about how they weren't really a physical. When we talk about the Bees, not necessarily known for their physicality, but known for their speed.
Here's McFeeters from the side, sends that one on that save made.
But I would venture to say that in the first sort of period, and already almost with 5 minutes remaining here in the second, what we've seen is sort of as a flip. We're definitely seeing some more physicality coming from the Bees, and the speed, I think, is also we're seeing from this Warrior team as well. So sort of a change of what we originally kind of came in thinking that we would see on this game.
Okay, stop taking a one shot on that save. Rebound! Oh, they couldn't get that one to go.
That puck was dancing around, waiting for an opportunity for somebody to be able to get a stick on it.
Maybe a bit of luck for Whitesboro. What can they do now with it? Toland in pursuit, down low. And he's whisked away by Balf. Now here's Toland trying to get to it. He's checked down low. This comes up to the point, and it'll be played out in the zone by Breen. Breen there, a little dangerous. Held on to that one on almost a bit too long. Comes around to the side, chipped over, and it's going to be nearly picked off. Now they'll dump it back in, send over. Here comes Whitesboro on the way out. Long pass up, moving in this one into the offensive zone. Making a move checked there. Aceto was some stick handling, has his pocket picked. Here's McCollum. Had to wait, but that's a great job getting onside. Long shot by McCollum, deflects over the net. Hinman there, ready for that hit. Hinman shoots the defender's stick away in the process. The puck ends up on top of the net.
Well, good job by Hinman there. Hinman using his physicality not only to take the hit, but then take the puck away and taking a shot on there.
Still 1-0. And we'll get a line change from the Bees. But a number of close chances here for Baldwinsville. Shot from Weaver got blocked on the way in, and out comes Whitesboro trying to get this out. Brought forward into the offensive end. And here's a move. Moving on in from the side. Shooting one. Save made by Bice. That was a good attempt there by Dom Nucci. And now the other way. Here comes Baldwinsville. Moving forward. Shot there. Save made. Hey, that's going to be held.
Yeah. Quick period here with just 4 minutes remaining here in the second period. A lot of back and forth happening. Not a lot of stoppage.
Face off to Balf's right. This comes out. Opportunity. That one got blocked on the way in. Hinman tries to get to that one. A couple of chops. Doesn't go. And into the offensive zone comes Whitesboro. They make a move. Passed over. And they score. And we have a tie game.
Great play by the Warriors there.
And that's going to be Dom Nucci leading the charge through the handshake line. And he's the one celebrating. It looks like Nucci's got the goal. Avenges the turnover from earlier in the game that nearly cost Whitesboro a goal and scores one himself.
Well, how about the pass there, right? I don't think anybody was expecting the pass to happen. We thought we had an offensive player moving down, had an opportunity to take the shot, and he dumps it over. Nobody was waiting for it. Vice tried to make a play on it, stretched himself over to the other side of the net, was just unable to do so in time. Great goal by the Warriors.
Dom Nucci gets the credit. And that one rolls on net there. Save made by Bice, who holds. So tie game. Beeville engaged in a battle here. Whitesboro not going away. Face off taken, that's one, gets chipped up to the point, and now comes out of the zone. In pursuit of this one is Tolan. Can he get to it? Tolan on the side takes a check, battling for this one in the corner. That comes up and out of the, not out of the zone, it's picked off by McCollum, who then chips it immediately into the foot of a Whitesboro player. Baldwinsville picked it right back up, but they were forced offside. Whitesboro finally able to get that high goal scoring total that we talked about earlier in this game.
Yeah.
Finally able to get that going.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is going to be really interesting. It's making up for a great third period that we have here with two teams that really have been playing equal status.
Definitely seems like either of these teams could come away with a victory. Long shot there, deflects and goes into the corner. Here's Hinman. Good pass up to McGrain. McGrain, he has time to go into full speed. Made the move, but couldn't get that one through. And Hinman tried to jump up to make a play of that one, but missed it. And now Weaver will have to control it back in his own end. Send forward. Here's McGrain. Gets up to full speed again. McGrain shoots one wide. And it came back to McGrain, but it was poked out of his own before he could get possession of it. Now they battle for possession for this one on the side. Whitesboro playing with a renewed purpose here. This one tied at 1.
Absolutely. We're seeing a re-energize from Whitesboro after that great goal.
And this is stolen now by Crowley, who goes in the offensive zone, has no help. Crowley will have to take it himself. Comes to the corner. Turns. Looking for an option. Slides it over to McFeeters, who shot on that save, made rebound. It's loose in front. Now it'll be held. Oh, man, a big chance for Beeville. And Luke Balf gets in the way of that one.
Yeah, excellent. Just great goaltending by Balf there to be able to, with all that sort of action that was happening in front of the net, as you could say, he was able to sort of find it, cover it quick.
Face off one by McFeeters. He goes in pursuit of this one. Got a Beeville player down behind the nets. Toland looks like he just might have got knocked over there. Went on the side. Gets sent up, picked off. McCollum stopped. Oh, the quick turnaround shot. And Balf was ready for it. On the draw now is McGrain. It's won by Whitesboro. They chip it around the wall. And they'll try to fire this one up out of the zone. Good check there And the Bees take possession back. Here's Hidman. Tries to get forward. This top line for Baldwinsville has just been getting shut down today. They haven't been able to do what they're normally able to do, which is cause consistent offensive pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that's one of the things that Whitesboro was looking at doing coming in. And they've been successful at it, really. It's been a quiet day for that line.
There's an icing against the Bees. Shots on goal 29-16 in favor of Baldwinsville. And the faceoff will be to Balf's left. McFeeder's on the draw. He tries to win it over. Toland attempting to get to it. There comes over McFeeder's. Oh, up to the point now. Shot from Weaver deflects high and out of play. And that one would have ended probably on top of the locker rooms.
Yes, that was going high and wide, what you say.
That deflected over the net. Face-off taking one. This gets chipped down the ice. And there'll be no icing as this one is sent up by Bice. Good pass there by Bice. Sent forward and delayed offside. They got to clear the zone. I don't think they know. Now we get whistles. Failed to clear the zone. And that's what'll happen.
Yeah, one of those situations where I'll look at each other and they know that that's an offside coming.
Toland entered the zone a little bit early there. And so the top line for Baldwinsville back on the ice with 50 seconds left to go, looking for a push. Baldwinsville have the advantage in shots on goal.
Yeah.
And they've definitely had more opportunities, but they've just been unable to capitalize.
They have. I mean, I think this period definitely you could say in terms of the time of possession and opportunities would be won by Baldwinsville, but that doesn't matter when you look at the score, right? With a 1-1 game, that's sort of how the game played. Doesn't really matter in terms of possession, but if they can cash in and got the goal, which they did, that's all that matters. Ouch.
There's a big hit there, or no call by the officials. Whitesboro player is still down. And
yeah, it was a...
That's Colin Aceto who took that hit from Daniel Hinman.
Yep.
And he'll work his way off the ice. Looks like he was just not really expecting it. And you'll see the trainer coming on over to help out from Baldwinsville. Or nope, I guess not. Yeah, trainer's starting making her way on the ice, but saw something. She'll head back to her own bench here. Whitesboro coach is not questioning the lack of a penalty there. So
yeah, I mean, I just don't think he saw him coming. You know, there's a size difference there. I don't think he saw him coming, and when he turned around, it was already happening.
So Baldwinsville, 21.3 to go. Face-off taken is one up to the point now. Here is Weaver from the side. Weaver, save made, Balf holds. Was looking for a rebound there, couldn't get one. 30th shot on goal of the game for Beeville.
Yeah, he doesn't let much get rebounded. That's one of the things we don't see a lot of happening. There's not a lot of pucks that are bouncing around here in front of this goaltender.
No change from anybody. Face-off taken at one. Here's McGreen. Cuts to the middle. It's loose down front. Save made rebound. They dig at it. And it's still loose, and they just could not get that one to go. Another try. They score!
Wow.
From the point, it's Rocco Weaver, his second of the game. Beeville takes the lead back.
Weaver just with a beautiful shot, just right outside the face-off circle. What a great shot by Weaver there.
With 4.2 left here on the scoreboard in the rink. I can't control the tenths of a second on the software I use, so it's going to show 4.6 on our scoreboard, but
close enough.
Close enough. Under half a second. That is a big goal for Baldwinsville. They take the lead back. Looking for more was McCollum, and that's the end of two. Rocco Weaver, the hero in this one so far for Beeville. 2 goals on the day for him.
Well, it's one of those things that we were just saying that sort of we thought that Baldwinsville sort of won that period in terms of possession and opportunities, but Whitesboro was able to cash in on that goal. When you looked up at the score, didn't see it. But right there, that's what a dagger heading into the second period. What a dagger that was to be able to get a goal into that net.
Well, here, let's have a look at our sponsor for today's broadcast, Ads on the Go.
Ads on the Go, providing digital media opportunities for your business? What about a birthday wish? What about a wedding celebration? Whatever you want up on the board, all you got to do is give them a call at 315-816-0633. Look for adsonthego.com. Starting plans at $349 per month. Zach Primo, I know the guy, wonderful dude. Reach out to them if you're looking for a great way to do some unique advertising here in Central New York. We'll be back for KSN coverage of the third period, a 2-1 lead, Baldwinsville over the Whitesboro Warriors.
Welcome you back here on KSM Productions for third period action between the Baldwinsville Bees and the Whitesboro Warriors. Bees currently lead this one 2-1 going into the third. And Brian, this game, it was pretty even in the first period, I would say, but then in the second period, obviously the score doesn't really reflect it, but Baldwinsville, they kind of took over, and they were the ones with the majority of the chances, just were unable to reflect that on the scoreboard.
Yeah, I mean, I think I definitely would say that they sort of stole the possession in the second period, but I think that one of the things that we're going to have to look for is both teams really, when they want to, right, they're both using some of their strengths, which is the speed and the physicality, and that's been happening in both periods. So I'd expect the same thing to happen in this third period. I would not say that this game is in one hand of this team or the other. I think they both have an opportunity here to get some goals going, and we'll see how that sort of plays out.
Well, with that, we are just about ready to get going here, but let's have a look at the roster for Whitesboro. Huge roster. I mean, this is ginormous.
Yeah, this is one of the larger rosters here in Section 3, which is great to see that Whitesboro has such a great program. One of the things to note, they don't have a lot of seniors, right? I think it's similar to Baldwinsville. They only have maybe 3 to 4 seniors here, tops amongst the group. But they have a lot of sophomores and juniors here, so I expect both teams, right, to continue to have some strength as they grow into even next year being a great battle, and I hope these two teams play each other again.
They're kicking the boards, all ready to go. Promises to be a great third period, 34 minutes down, 17 to go of this 51-minute game. 3 goals so far through 2 periods, and let's see who comes out with this one. It's controlled back in their own end by Whitesboro. They bring this forward. Cutting back, it's Aiden Nofree. That one flies up, and that would have nailed the camera had the net not been there.
Oh, too bad. I would have caught that, I think.
I highly doubt it. But anyways, that bounce out of play. It'll be a center ice face-off. Officials today, linesman John Mackay, and referees Jim Keegan and Eric Unglich. I've worked with a couple of them through my time as a USA Hockey official.
Yeah.
This comes forward, gets fired into the offensive zone. Play aid back down low. Battling for this one, comes up the side. And this will be taken there. Moved forward, and now it comes out the other direction. Here comes Baldwinsville. Chipped forward. McGrain trying to get to that one. You know McGrain has the speed to get by.
Yeah, so far Whitesboro's able to sort of contain that speed in a lot of ways, right? He hasn't been able to get sort of moving too far without getting a player on it.
What a move by Hinman. Hinman moves in, shoots one off the crossbar. Oh, man, a big early chance. Nails the iron and goes away.
Well, Hinman did that thing where he sort of hesitates enough to where you think he might be dumping it off and passing it to him, then he just does a quick release. It's almost like a fake to say, hey, I'm about to sort of pass this thing to throw the goalie off, but he takes the quick shot and just too much there on that play. Great play, though, by Hinman.
Face-off taken is one. This goes out of the zone, and now in pursuit of this is Whitesboro. They beat out the icing. Battled forward down low. Good hit there by Breen. Takes himself out in the process. And Breen picks up again, works his way up the wall. It gets brought forward. Here comes Breen. Pass intercepted. And here comes Whitesboro the other direction. Lining up. Up move there. Couldn't go. This gets fired up, deflects down. And Beeville can't get that one. Fire back in, picked off, now sent forward. Trying to get at that one, and that one just would not go. Comes out the other direction. Pass up, picked off. Oh, great job of staying on side there by Hinman. Hinman fires down that there, save made. First shot on goal for Baldwinsville this period. Goes down the ice, Bees will retain possession. Here's Weaver. Has both goals on the day. McGrain tried to get to that one. And it comes over now. McGrain tries to pick this one up. Couldn't control that. Here's Aceto. You saw him take a big hit there at the end of the second period. Fortunately, he's all right.
Yeah, it's good to see him out back on the ice. Very good to see him back on the ice.
It's an unfortunate situation. They just kind of ran into each other. That bounces out of play. And so face-off will stay in the neutral zone. 14:50 left to go in this third period of play. Only one penalty so far in this entire game, and it happened concurrently with the Baldwinsville first goal. Passed over, misplayed by Hinman. Come through, Hinman steps up, lands a check there. Just gets set back down in. McGrain in a battle for it, comes out to Hinman, who just fires this one on that save made there by Balf. Now it comes up and into the neutral zone. And now brought into the offensive zone. Here's an opportunity for Whitesboro from the side. Cutting. Centering pass. Couldn't get a stick on that one. Here's McCollum. Lost possession of it. Now it comes over. Weaver had it poked away. Weaver takes it. Has some pressure to deal with. And he'll look for McCollum, but it was knocked down.
Yeah, well, Whitesboro's providing that pressure. They're not holding back there when they move that puck around. And it's already disrupted the Bees several times here as they try to get something going from their offensive zone.
This gets sent down into the zone, goes wide. Battled for there, checked on the wall. Chipped up and over the net. Now here is Baldwinsville. Fired around the side. Moved forward, trying to get to this one now is Baldwinsville. There's a good move, and that one did not go. Battled for on the side. Comes up. McFeeters was brought down trying to control that one. It's sent back down low. Picked up, and they'll try to make their way out of the zone with this one. All right, it goes right back down. Here's Nick Chiricosta. Fired that one up. And it comes out of the zone. Or it'll be played by Breen. Pass comes up. They battle for this. Set down low. Here's Breen again. Breen looks up ice. That's caught, and now Hinman trying to spring forward. Couldn't get that one under control. Dorito makes a slap at this one. Now here comes the other way. Moving on in for the side for Whitesboro. Save made there by Bice.
Yeah, good job by Bice being able to shut that down, not letting anything get between him and the post.
Moving in from the side. Centering pass there, did not go. Oh man, a close call. Comes around, and now here comes Whitesboro in the offensive zone. Makes a move, getting back there was Crowley.
Yeah, good job, Crowley. Used his body to really sort of disrupt the play.
Crowley picks it up behind his own net, looks for options. It's like it chipped up and held in. Crowley now hits it up again. And here is Ryland McCollum. His pass intended for McGrain, inaccurate, and so they'll have to chase this for this one. Pass comes over, bounces down. Great job. And now here's McCollum. Shot got blocked. Rebound comes down. It's still in front. McCollum picks it up again behind the net. Up to the point now. Shot, and that did not go. Shot there from Nate Hinman. A 3-shot sequence for Baldwinsville. Able to get that one as McFeeters takes a tumble. McCollum holds this one in the zone. Now gets sent down the ice. Icing.
What a play by Belf there. He's outstretched, used his sort of, looked like his kick pad maybe, to be able to stop that shot. What a great movement, great flexibility by number 1, the goaltender there for the Warriors.
.11:38 left. Now we get whistles. It's gonna, it looks like there's something in the ice. That the official has to try to get out. Now they'll try to freeze the ice. So it looks like maybe a little hole or something formed there, or a rut that made it tough to play on.
These referees, skilled individuals. They got to create ice, make ice while they're doing their jobs here.
And now we're ready. The ice has been repaired. Face-off ticket and won by Baldwinsville. Played along on the side, trying to get to that one. It comes over, up to the point. Shot comes in. Save made there by Balf. Baldwinsville getting increasingly closer to that 40 shot on goal mark. Pass up, and they couldn't get that one to go. Here's Benedetto. And the offensive zone makes a move. Absorbs a check, and that comes out the other way. Here comes Baldwinsville moving forward into the offensive zone. Chipped by, and it's played there, held along, and sent around down low. Fired up the wall, and that goes out of the zone, springing a breakaway. Novri, but he caught up that one a little late.
Yeah,
and it forced a bad angle shot.
Yeah, tough angle on that, but he did get the shot out.
That's picked off. Opportunity for Whitesboro. Trying to dig at this one. Couldn't get the puck. Spino. It's Benedetto. Finds Nofri. Shooting. And he missed it high. Oh, man. That was the best chance they've had probably all game right there.
Well, it's a multi-shot sequence there from the Warriors. Something we haven't seen in a while, right? Sort of resembles what was happening in the first period.
And you can bet Nofri's not going to be happy with himself after that one. He's going to want that one back. Whitesboro trying to get one back for him, but here's Hinman. It's a 3-on-1. Hinman moving on in, firing, save made. It was dropped temporarily, but then retrapped and held.
Yeah, great job by Ball to be able to cover that up, not letting that thing bounce out, especially knowing that there's two other players with their targets on, just coming right for him.
Face-off taken in one. Crowley slaps it down low. McGrain plays up the deflection. And now in the middle, they score!
Wow. That's what you're looking for when it comes to sort of multi-opportunities.
It's Dom Dorito. 3-1 Baldwinsville. That big insurance goal that they've been struggling to find. They come away with it there off the initial shot from the point.
Well, it all starts with great defensive play there to be able to move that puck into the center. Great work by this Bees team as they continue to try to build a lead here in this third period.
And now desperation might start to set in here for Whitesboro. They have plenty of time, but got to start connecting on those chances. McGrain and Hinman get credits for the assist on the Dorito goal. So finally, somebody other than Rocco Weaver makes his way onto the score sheet in the goal department for Baldwinsville. He's still alone in the penalty department today.
That's right.
This is chipped down low. And here is Don Pertel, slaps this one around. It comes forward, intercepted at the point now, trying to get that one. Shot on net, save made by Bice.
Yeah, good job by Bice there to watch that.
Played around up at the point, chipped forward, picked up, and they will make a move on it. Comes up, and now sent down low. Webb tries to dump it in. It gets chipped up and brought forward. Here come the Bees. They couldn't get that one through. Now comes over. Opportunity. Shooting save made. It's held.
Well, both teams really have struggling to get the puck out of their zones here. I was just about to say that Baldwinsville sort of on that sequence was having a little hard time, but then we flip it around. And Whitesboro there having struggles. So I think trying to get something going here on both sides, but they got to be able to clear that puck when it's that close to the net.
Face-off taken in one. Oh, McGrain. What a way to fight for that one, but it's trapped and held by Balf.
Yeah. Oh.
Now the face-off to Balf's right. Taken and won by McGrain. Shot there, did not go, and it comes down the other direction. Here comes Whitesboro into the offensive zone, makes a move. And it'll be played back up. Sent around, down low, up to the point, shot. Or no shot there. Now there's a shot on that. Oh, that's going to be held by Bice. He didn't know where it was.
Yeah, he's looking around behind him, thinking that puck might have slipped through, but it was covered tight.
8:40 left to go. Baldwinsville with the lead off of the 2 goals from Weaver and the goal from Dorito. That shot there goes nowhere. Whitesboro's lone goal from Nucci. Baldwinsville wanted the call down there. Whitesboro wanted the call. I couldn't see what happened because it was in the blind spot of where the play was.
Yeah, Whitesboro's still yelling at the referees. They're concerned about their player, obviously. Looked like it might have been a hit from the back as the trainer of Baldwinsville heads over to the injured Whitesboro player. In fact, we got 2 trainers, looks like.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it wasn't left because there's a blind spot in the corner of the rink where I can't see what's really going on just because of how the spectators are set up. So I didn't see what happened. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming it was from behind. It was something from behind based on what the.
Well, immediately the Whitesboro bench got, the coaches started to sort of raise their hand asking for a penalty. And then especially when the player didn't get up, I think that's when obviously there was a concern kind of shifted to what was going on. But referees are huddling right now talking about the situation.
Yeah, officials. They are allowed to make a call after the fact in a situation like this, but I mean, I've rarely seen that happen.
Yeah,
Maybe
sure.
once or twice in my entire career of playing and watching hockey.
Yeah, not sure what player is down for Whitesboro, but I know they have both trainers that are here on the ice, the Whitesboro trainer, team trainer, as well as the Baldwinsville team trainer. Both were escorted out.
So officials or referees still talking this over. And the concern right now just for the player down for Whitesboro.
Well, one of the things is nobody can see what is going on because the injured player is so close to the boards towards where the spectators are. And there's a huddle of Whitesboro players surrounding the players, so it's not like in a situation where we can see if there's any movement going on. But it looks like the player's now getting up.
We'll look for a number here.
Yeah, he's got a jersey tucked in. So
and yeah, holding his shoulder is, I believe that's 19. That's Marco Benedetto. So
I think I don't know if the referees are explaining it right now to one of the Whitesboro.
Yeah, so Drew Witchley currently getting the explanation, I believe, too. The bench still a pretty elongated. So now the explanation will shift to the Whitesboro bench. Looks like the bench getting a warning here of some kind. And Randy Ruff, and that's what's going to be unsportsmanlike on Whitesboro.
Well, he gave him a warning. He gave him about
and now
two
he's
warnings,
gone. So
now
that's
he's out. Yeah. It's one of those situations. Obviously, he's very emotional. Obviously, he's looking out for his player who just came off the bench injured. He was not happy. As soon as that play happened, that coach was already starting to sort of chirp at the refs, and I think he wanted to make sure he got his piece in.
And so, the walk of shame, as some call it. Meanwhile, now, looks like Randy Ruff with the score sheet talking to the official on who's actually going to get assigned this penalty.
Yeah.
You can definitely understand the coach's perspective there, though, trying to defend his player after what he thought was a dirty play.
Yep, absolutely. But with 8 minutes remaining here in the game, you definitely want to make sure that, right, Whitesboro's at its prime to be able to make this comeback. I mean, this game is still in the balance, right? And this is definitely not a game that's out of control in terms of the score. So it's going to be important here as we watch what happens coming out of this, is how the Whitesboro team responds to that situation. I know their players obviously concerned about the injury.
Still waiting for a penalty. Yes, yeah, still got to have somebody serve the penalty. I think Whitesboro bench is trying to figure out who's going in right now. And so it looks like they have their, so it'll be Adam Gutowski that'll serve the penalty. And so with 8:25 left in the go, we are finally ready to resume play. We get the whistle from John Mackay, indicating that they're ready to begin. And here we go, finally back underway. Baldwinsville's first power play of the night. They've had a great power play this season. It's been really successful offensively. So game misconduct is the penalty that sent the coach out. Certainly, I don't imagine they'd go for anything higher than just simple game misconduct there. Not really a reason to. So, situation finally figured out. Baldwinsville power play. Hinman, save made by Balf.
Yeah, great movement by the Bees there to be able to spread that play out, find some openings on there. Hinman had a great shot, but Balf just covered it completely. Watched it come right into him and was able to stop that shot without any sort of bounce or rebound.
Face-off taken in one, up to the point now. Crowley walks in, sends it over to Hinman. Hinman fires, save made by Balf. And Balf has been a sponge today. He has held quite a bit of these shots. Lack of rebounds.
And lack of rebounds is right. And Bees are looking for their defensive power here. They've got some great shooters on the defensive zone, so they're just looking to be able to get some shots in.
Now comes over. Shot there was stopped by Balf, who continues to be a brick wall today, and that faced 45 shots now, 46. Wired over to Crowley, bounces over his stick, so Crowley will give over to Weaver, to Hinman, save made by Balf again, approaching 50 shots on goal now. And now it's picked off at the point. Crowley, shot deflected into the stratosphere and out of play.
Yeah.
I mean, Crowley there, he walked in. That was a great job laying down by Whitesboro to get in front of that shot.
Well, a minute 20 into this power play, Whitesboro's not been able to clear it out of their zone yet. For the full minute and 20 seconds, this puck has been down in their zone. All starts there with that face-off win.
Still 40 seconds left on this power play for Beeville. Here's Crowley at the point. Crowley turns, takes a check, hands it down on low, up to the point now. It's Weaver, shot deflects wide. McCollum makes a move. McCollum hands it over. Up to the point, shot there from Weaver went wide up the pass from McFeeters. Up to Crowley. Crowley sends it over, intended for McCollum, picked up by McFeeters, who gives it back to McCollum, who comes in and scores! It's Ryland McCollum, and that will make it 4-1.
Yeah, great job by the Bees on that power play. 1 minute, really, I mean, it was pretty much the entire penalty that they had that puck down in the zone. Just a matter of time till they could find an opening. They were able to cash in to make this now a 3-goal lead by the Bees with about 6 minutes remaining here in that third period.
That's by far the most sustained pressure we've seen today.
Yeah, it was a pretty dominant power play from start to finish.
And out of Baldwinsville, head coach wants an explanation for something. Unsure what Lloyd's asking about, but he was motioning as in somebody might have pushed down on one of his players, but official says nothing happened. That was worthy of a penalty, and we will continue. And now it's brought the other direction, looking to make this back to a 2-goal game. As Whitesboro shot there, blocked, comes through, save in front, and it's loose. Oh my God, that was stopped by Bice.
I don't know how that puck did not get in. That thing was rolling around, and it almost looked like it hit one of the Baldwinsville players.
That was insane. And then a Whitesboro player got pushed onto Bice after to add insult to injury there for Baldwinsville, but Bice
just sort of laid on his back. I mean, he had no idea where the puck was. What a play. Wow.
And now Baldwinsville with 6:16 to go looks to close this one out. Maybe get one more insurance marker. This pass comes over. Certainly not an impossible comeback, but it's got to start here. Shot comes in, deflects wide. Oh, good job by Aceto getting there. And now a diving attempt to hold that one in does not work. And now a two-man forecheck here for Beeville. It's flipped around the wall, and they will send this one up out of the zone. Great look there. And that's caught by Whitesboro from the side. Turning. looking for options, continuing to look for options. It's Aceto. Aceto gets checked, and it comes out the other way. Here's Breen. Breen with Aceto on him. Tried to chip it in. It gets fired forward, but right to Baldwinsville, where Pertel will carry this forward. Pertel makes a move. Cuts in down low. Had it chopped away from him. And it's played back up the wall. Whitesboro will reset. Pass over. The breakout goes into Pertel. Good check there. And this comes right back. Whitesboro just unable to set things up here to get this out. That was a risk. That was a risky one there. Nearly caught the player coming off the ice. And now here comes Beeville the other way. Long shot, glove down, and that's held by Balf.
Yeah, great. You see sort of now Baldwinsville starting to flex a little bit, right? Because they're using that speed to their advantage here, trying to get this puck down. I think that power play really was a shift here in this game.
Face off taken in one. It comes up to the point. Shot comes in the flex wide of the cage. Moved forward into the offensive end. It's chipped up the ice. And here comes Baldwinsville into the offensive end. From the side, that one did not go.
Yeah, great defensive play by Whitesboro.
And now an opportunity for Whitesboro. Got tangled up, brought down. And a penalty upcoming here against Baldwinsville. And so the power play for Whitesboro will get its second chance of the day. It'll be a trip.
Yeah, too much disruption on that. You had two players, or actually almost three players, trying to stop the Whitesboro player from being able to move that puck down towards the net.
Rocco Weaver remains the only player on Baldwinsville to be in the box today, as he'll pick up his second penalty of the game, this one for tripping.
So big opportunity for Whitesboro here, right? I mean, with 4 minutes and 30 seconds left roughly, right? An opportunity, a quick goal here, get you back into the game, and you don't know what happens after that, right? So it's going to be a really important opportunity for Whitesboro to cash in with the extra man on the ice.
Down by 3, 4.5 to go, and a face-off ejection. Now we'll get the drop. It's won by the Bees and slapped up and bounces and is held in. Trying to get that one is Dorito, who's nearly able to get a stick on that. Slap back down low, but Baldwinsville's continuing to hold this one on the boards. Over to Aceto. Aceto up to the point, finds Witchley. Witchley's shot goes wide. Aceto back up to Witchley at the point. Witchley walks, shoots one, he scores!
There you go.
It's tipped on the way in, and that'll make it 4-2.
As I said, you know what I mean? You needed something really quick here. Saves time. Only took about, 30 seconds off the clock for them to get the goal in there. With a 4-2 game going on here, this game is still in the balance, I would say. Great special teams that we're seeing really from both squads there. I mean, Baldwinsville having a hard time for that 30 seconds to even touch the puck, let alone try to get it out of their zone.
We'll see who they call that scored this goal, because that player who scored his jersey tuck was such to the point that you could not read his number.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's 4-2 off and the initial shot came from the point and was deflected in by somebody in front, so. It's Cole Burdick with the goal. And a sandwich hit there. Doesn't really do much other than temporarily slow that ball, and that's picked off. McCollum shot blocked. McCollum there nearly able to get a big play. This gets chipped up, falls down low. Sent over to the side, stepping into that. Gets fired up to the point. And now tipped through, gets deflected forward. And here comes Whitesboro trying to make it through. Stepping up, good hit there by Joe Toland. Fired down in wide. Trying to get this one as Whitesboro. It's just chipped up. Hinman streaking for the point. Couldn't get to that one in time, but it's enough to force them to clear this one down the ice. 2:53 left to go. We should expect the goalie to come out relatively soon here of a 2-goal deficit. Certainly within range. And here comes McGrain into the neutral zone. McGrain looking, has speed, had it poked away. McGrain stays on it. He's checked. Good hit there. And the boards decides to claim a stick victim. Battle for there. Here's McGrain. That puck just kind of died there on the ice. McGrain chips it over to Hinman. Hinman with the lane. Shoots wide. 2:18 left to go. Weaver fires on that save made. That's shot number 50. And this gets sent down the ice. A line change for Whitesboro. The dumping attempt by Hinman didn't go all the way. So this gets sent up and sent down the ice. No movement in the crease yet for Balf, but you got to imagine it's probably coming soon. That pass gets chopped down. And here is Harry Dapry. It gets sent down the ice, no icing. Whitesboro opportunity, backhanded over the net. Can they hold this one in at the point? It comes out, and now this will be fired down in. Blocked, looking up, that goes down the ice, no icing, as that was playable by Whitesboro. And so the Warriors now have to restart from their own end. Checked there on the wall, trying to get to that one. 1:15 left to go. This comes out of the zone, and here comes Whitesboro, but that'll be picked off. Now chipped forward. Warriors got to get offensive possession here. They dump this one in. Still no movement in the crease.
This is the last minute of play in the period.
And now they'll dig up for this one on the side of the net. It's going to be held by Bice. 54.3 to go.
Well, you would think that now is the time probably that they're getting ready to let Belf head into the bench here, but no movement yet. Doesn't look like any direction coming from. But it'll be a timeout.
Yep, here he comes. So it's a timeout and an empty net. That Whitesboro will take. So, just under a minute left. What's the play here?
Well, I mean, I think before we talked about the importance of being able to get the defensive players some shots in. I mean, look, at one thing that it's not going to happen is Bice is just not letting anything bounce around, right? So they're going to have to look for some traffic in front so he can take out his vision so he can't see when that puck is coming in from a defender from way out. Good match, though. Equal play. I mean, I know Baldwinsville sort of took advantage here of some shots in the second period, towards the end of the second period, and also the beginning of the third here, but both teams really showing some strengths here.
Beeville able to open up the scoring here in the third with 2 goals. Whitesboro with 1 in here in the third. Baldwinsville after 1 led 1-0, led 2-1 after 2. And now they lead 4-2 here with under a minute left in the third. Timeout will conclude. Empty net for Whitesboro.
Yeah, so they're going to keep him out.
So that'll probably it for Balf's day. I mean, great day for him.
Yeah.
Faced 50 shots on goal per my count, only allowed 4. That's a save percentage of over 900.
Yeah, absolutely. That's got to be one of the higher shot count that he's had to face this season, so great job by him.
And now immediately disaster for Whitesboro, trying to get Dennis McCollum a diving attempt. He couldn't make connection. Now Whitesboro brings it forward. 40 seconds left. They got to get this one up. Checked on the wall, fired back in, but now here comes Whitesboro into the offensive zone. They make a move. Good job by Pertel getting that to that move of his skate. Up to the point. Whitesboro sets up the shape. That one goes wide. Penalty upcoming here. It's going to be against Beeville. It'll be on Don Pertel. So Pertel's going to go to the box, and we will have a...
Yeah, some physicality that was happening in front of the net as both players were trying to get position. He was trying to get the player out from within the crease and just thinking too aggressive on one of those shots.
So it's 6-on-4.
Yeah, making it even more interesting here with 23 seconds left to have the 2-man advantage.
And now it's a timeout by Baldwinsville. So the pace of this game, which was really high, is going to take a stop. So Beeville takes the timeout. And we will wait for another minute here.
Well, just looking at the schedule of both of these teams here coming up, we talked about how I think Whitesboro's taken it on at Broome County, which should be not as much of a competitive game as this one was, but then they have to turn around and they have to play Scan home before having to go to New Hartford, which New Hartford seems to be right now sort of the surprise darling team here in Section 2. In fact, I think I saw New Hartford had made some of the state rankings already just because of that one upset that they had against Scan. So when you beat the defending champion of 3 years in a row, you get points, right? You get noticed. And I think right now there's a big interest in this New Hartford team. But should be an interesting sort of week or two of hockey coming up here for this Warrior team.
Now, New Hartford currently down 2-1 to CNS, but they're out shooting the North Stars 12-5.
Wow.
A wacky game going on over at Cicero. Meanwhile, this one about to reach its conclusion. Sent over, couldn't get it to that one. Played back, and now up to the point. Sent over. Shot comes in. Patted aside by Bice. Final 5 seconds tick off. Up to the point now. Shot comes in. Save Bice. Rebound. It's loose in front. That's going to do it. Bice has to make a few big stops at the end, but that is the end of this game.
Yeah, great job by the Baldwinsville Bees to really contain, really using their speed and their strength to be able to match Whitesboro toe-to-toe today. We both thought coming in that this could be really a tough game for the Bees to play, especially with the way that Whitesboro had been handling earlier opponents. But great job by both teams. I think both of these games, I think the coaches are going to look at and say, hey, there are some positives that come out of this one.
Well, per my count, the final shots on goal are Baldwinsville 50, Whitesboro 28. Baldwinsville with 4 goals on the day. Rylan McCollum with 1. Rocco Weaver with 2. And 1 other goal for Baldwinsville today coming from Dom Dorito.
So upcoming here for Baldwinsville on the day following New Year's Day, on Friday the 2nd, they'll be playing William East at the upcoming Scan tournament. This Scan tournament is going to be a really great test for this Bees team as they head in here and try to get some more play. Always a great tournament, always tough teams that are playing at this tournament. So I think in a week we're really going to have a deeper knowledge of what this Bees team is. After that tournament, they play on the road at Ontario Bay, at Broome County, and then they make their next home game here, which we'll be broadcasting at KSN against Watertown IHC on Tuesday, January 13th at 7:15 here at Three Rivers Ice Complex in Lysander.
Well, with that, we will sign off here from Three Rivers Athletic Complex. Baldwinsville improves. Actually, I have to change this on the scoreboard right now as we speak because I forgot to do it. Baldwinsville improves to 4-0-2 on the year. Still have not lost a game. And Whitesboro will drop to 500, although that's 500 with an asterisk because they've played probably the 2 best teams in the section for 3 of those losses.
Yep, absolutely. So well, look at everyone. Have a great new year out there. We'll see you guys coming up here against the Watertown IHC. Our next broadcast from KSN of Baldwinsville Bees Hockey for the 25-26 school year.